Coach, you grew up as a young boy in Martinsville, then your dad moved to Newcastle. Certainly you knew Coach Wooden when you were in Martinsville. Do you ever think about, boy, you were in Martinsville, and that's where Coach Wooden was. Now you're the same place he was. Does that ever sink into you?
Well, I don't know if it ever sinks in. It's just it's an honor, it's a blessing. I grew up and was born 26 miles away from Coach Wooden's birthplace, and then to grow up my first 4 years in elementary at Martinsville High School, and I was kind of learned to be a gym rat in the same gym that Coach Wooden played his high school basketball in. So, kind of scary that I end up playing for Coach Knight and end up coaching the same place Coach Wooden was. It's it's a humbling experience and something that it's definitely a privilege and an honor to be able to be in that situation.
Coach, UCLA and IU are both real blue blood programs in the college basketball landscape. Did playing in an environment like IU help prepare you for the challenges of being the coach at UCLA?
No, there's no question, and not just at Indiana. Playing at Newcastle High School field house that we seated 10,000, and then having an opportunity to play in the Olympics, which were in Los Angeles, having a chance to play in Assembly Hall in Indiana, and all the Big Ten venues that we got to play in, and then 4 years in the NBA. I think all those stops just really helped prepare me along the way. But my father in high school, and then later on, obviously in college with Coach Knight, those two men really were my mentors and have really prepared me for the situation I'm in now, and getting ready to enter my 24th season. So I'm very blessed that I've been able to be a head basketball coach for 24 years.
You've been successful everywhere you've been. How much fun was it coaching your two sons this year? Your dad did that. Is that something special, or is that tough?
Well, a little of both, but I'll take the special over any of it. Corey's been with me for 3 years now, and 2 years at New Mexico and 1 year at UCLA. And, in those 3 years, we've won 2 league championships, 3 league tournament championships, and been in the NCAA tournament all 3 years, and this past year with UCLA making a Sweet 16 run. So, and before that, he won 2 state titles in high school. So I got to keep Corey around because Corey just breeds winning. And his younger brother Bryce was a great player for us off the bench this year, and just had a fantastic freshman year where he made the all-freshman team. It's only 5 people make it, so to make the all-freshman team as a freshman, you're doing a lot of good things, and Bryce had a great year for us.
You made mention of the run to the Sweet 16 this year. It was year 1 for you at the program. In your mind, was this a successful season?
Well, very. To win 28 games, it's the most in a first-year program, tied the most for a first-year program at UCLA. And in this era where there's so much parity we got there last April, we had 6 guys on scholarship. So to re-recruit those guys, bring in another 4 guys to round out 10-man roster before we got the walk-ons, obviously. To be able to win 28 games, only lose 9, win a championship in our league, and advance to the Sweet 16, it was a very positive year. It was a great year for a foundation that was laid, and hopefully we're just going to continue to better that.
You're known for the Division I, obviously. All your stops were great, UCLA, but you started at Manchester College just a few miles from here, and they still talk about Steve Alford. You took him to the national championship game in Division III. I know Division I is where it's at, but is it fun in Division III? Is that a great stop as well?
Well, Division I's where I'm at, but I have had fun at Division I, but I had a blast at Division III. My start was at Manchester College, and my time at North Manchester and that university was tremendous, and I got to coach great young men, and we had a lot of fun. We turned something around. I think when we got there was 5 winning seasons in the history of the school. And to have 3 straight, not just winning seasons, but championship seasons where we won 3 league tournaments, 2 league championships, and advanced to the national title game against Bo Ryan, who was at Platteville at the time, and had no idea we'd get cross paths in the Big Ten as coaches. But that was 4 years of a very, very special time. I had both my boys were born during that time, so it was a special time in our life.
I'm not sure how much of an eye you still keep on IU with your schedule, but can you comment at all on the job that Tom Crean's done since taking over there?
Well, I haven't been, obviously, that I've got out west, but I still follow it. Indiana is one of those where I played at Indiana, so, it's one of those scores I always check all the time, and then all my other stops from Manchester College to Missouri State to the University of Iowa and now UNM. These are all scores that I constantly check. And then I've got former players that are in coaching. I check those scores. So, but yeah, Indiana is always one of those scores that I'm going to check and be able to follow, and they're on TV a lot. So anytime I get a chance to catch those games, I like to do that. And I know, Tom has done a terrific job, and Coach Buckley on his staff is a very good friend of mine. He worked for me a year at Iowa, and I just think he does an outstanding job. So it's obviously a program I still keep very close eyes on.
Captain of the national championship in 1987, had to be a thrill. Olympic gold medal. Has things changed since you played and now you're coaching? Is the game the same in Division I, or are there differences, and if so, what are they?
Well, the shorts are longer. Kids are stronger, bigger, more athletic than what they used to be. It just seems like they just keep getting bigger and stronger and more athletic because kids today now have strength coaches and trainers. And just like in my era, the eras before me didn't have weights. And then all of a sudden weights were introduced right when we started playing the game, and now you got strength coaches. In my 4 years in Indiana, we never had a strength coach. So the evolution of the game is just constantly enhancing the athlete and getting nutritionists now at all these schools. We didn't have a nutritionist when I was in school either. So those type of things have just made the athletes bigger, stronger, faster, quicker.
News came out today that Kyle Anderson, Zach LaVine both put their names in the draft. Is that just a reality when you have that kind of talent on the roster? Guys are going to leave early.
Yeah, that's as long as the rules are what they are, and these are two guys that I feel like are projected first-round picks. So if you're a first-round pick, that's something you should do. You should be going. It's guaranteed money, and you get to start your professional career. And you come to a place like UCLA, you want an NBA career, and if you got a chance to do that and be a first-round pick, and one or both, or even been mentioned to be lottery picks, so you don't know how that's going to go. But both Zach and in particular Kyle were just absolutely tremendous for us this year. I thought Kyle did things that very few point guards have done in a season, what he did this year.